Texas, where it's a little chilly outside. We're indoors, though, inside the newly named Comerica Center. It's a little warmer, and we've got basketball coming up as the Texas Legends play host to the Northern Arizona Suns. Alongside Badmus, Jared Sandler, excited to be with you this evening. The Legends going for 3 straight wins, taking on a Suns team that just had their 3-game winning streak snapped. Both teams with records that aren't incredibly impressive, but playing a lot better of late, and the Legends are playing better thanks in part to Gary Trent Jr. Abe, 2 games of the Legends, 2 wins, probably not a coincidence.
Well, it's safe to say he's adjusting to the G League pretty well. Gary Trent Jr. is averaging about 28.5 points a game, 33 in his last game on 15 shots. I think we can say he's ready to go here.
He's certainly been stroking the basketball. Now, for the Suns, Juwan Evans can score, but he can also distribute. He's probably the most important player that they've got running their offense.
Indeed, the most important. He is a stat stuffer. Only one of 4 G League players to average at least 16 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and I'm not done. 2 more steals as well per game. Certainly, you can certainly say he's going to be getting a heavy dose of the ball tonight.
Yeah, Evans 7th in the league in steals. The Legends as a team 2nd in the league in steals, thanks to Ray Spalding, who has 9 steals his last 3 games. Legends going for their 3rd straight win. They're looking for some revenge after the Suns beat them near the buzzer in Arizona just a few days ago. It's the Legends and the Suns coming up next. All right, the Legends 126-107 victors over the Northern Arizona Suns. And we mentioned that this game is on Twitch, Abe, so the Twitch participants picked our post-game interview, and they've actually given us the questions. We're simply going to ask this man the questions they provided for us.
We're just the messenger.
Exactly. It's Gary Trent Jr., 33 points tonight, came to life in the second half, and you and I mentioned wasn't just the scoring, the thievery with the steals that, as the Legends were making their run, really helped get them going. But we're not allowed to ask you those questions. We got 2 questions from Twitch. Okay. The first one, Gary, what's the part of your game that you're focused on improving here during your time with the Legends?
Just how to be a great teammate, a great player, play on both ends of the floor. You know, it's been a while since I actually played a real game, but I'm getting slowly but surely back to it. It's my 3rd game now. Hasn't been playing since Summer League. So just really getting back to the swing of things, getting my help defense better, and just being a great all-around teammate, trying to get wins.
Good answer. Second question, not from me, but from our folks at Twitch. Tell us about the changes that you made in the second half to pull away with the win.
The changes I made is just simply let the game come to me. Instead of trying to force it, being a great teammate, and listen to Coach. Coach got into us at halftime and basically told us, let's get it together and let's play hard. And we started playing together, turn it up on the defensive end, and it all worked out for us in the long run.
Well, there you go. Gary Trent Jr., 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 of 7 from the perimeter, helping the Legends get the 126-107 victory. Gary, thanks for taking the time.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
There you go. The Legends with the win. And we talked about that perimeter shooting. It wasn't just Gary. Keith Hornsby as well. He had 27 points, a career high for Keith. And another guy who was lighting it up from deep, 7 threes for the LSU Tiger.
He was knocking them down all over the place, but really in that second half, he found himself open on the break and really just couldn't miss. People kept finding him, and that gets contagious. Daryl Macon saw it a little bit, and then, you know, the game was over at that point.
Abe, 18 lead changes in the first half. Just 1 in the second half because the Suns were leading at the break. The Legends overtook him and never looked back. 126-107 the final. The Legends play RGV tomorrow, and they're back at home on the 30th as they host the Long Island Nets. Hope you'll join us for that broadcast. For tonight, though, the Legends, 19-point winners over the Suns. For Abe, I'm Jared and the rest of our crew. Have a great rest of your weekend. Chilly evening in Frisco, but the Legends hope to heat things up inside a packed Dr. Pepper Arena. Alongside Badmus, Jared Sandler, really excited to be with you tonight as the Legends take on the top team in their division, the Austin Spurs. And if the Legends are going to snap this 5-game losing streak, Abe, they're going to turn to Frank Jackson to help lead them out of it.
You're absolutely right. With the Pelicans, Frank Jackson's what we call a role player. But over here in Texas, he is for sure a feature player, averaging 29 points a game in his last 3 games, scoring in a myriad of ways, and the way he's doing it the most is on the break. Being second in the G League in fast break scoring, it's much needed for a struggling Legends team.
And Jackson's coming off a 35-point game. In his time with the Legends, the guard is shooting over 51%. Usually don't see that from guys in the backcourt. He has been huge for the Legends, and the Legends hope that he'll be huge again for them tonight. It's a Texas showdown in Frisco. The Legends and the Spurs are next. Welcome back to Frisco. The Legends leading 23-15. They forced 12 first-quarter turnovers. We're joined right now by Donnie Nelson alongside Abe Badmus and myself. And Donnie, you got to love the defense in the first quarter.
Jared and Abe, yeah, absolutely. The boys brought it tonight. They're looking great.
As they start with the ball here in the second quarter, Daryl Macon, two-way player for the Mavericks, flips it to Warney, who hooks it home. His first points, and the Legends lead by 10.
It's good to see him get his first hook going. We know he wants to establish himself inside. Really good to see that ball go in the basket there.
Indeed, and Donnie, Jamil's been a part of this Legends family for a few years now. How important is he to this team? Not just what he does when he scores it, but just being around the guys and the leadership he brings.
He's heart and soul. I mean, to me, he's a modern-day Paul Silas that has worked on his 3. And look, he's a rebound waiting to happen. He's got a great nose for the ball. He's got those little touch shots around the point, but he's really worked hard on his 3-point shot, and it's really starting to come around.
We got a 50-50 ball, and it's going to stay with the Spurs. There's been more out of SMU. Kenrick Williams out of TCU. And we got a little SMU-TCU rivalry here as they jump it up. So 50-50 ball will actually be a 50-50 ball.
Great to see the local universities represented out there. It's awesome.
No doubt. Ben Moore, two-way contract. Kenrick Williams on assignment from the Pelicans. And Donnie, we got 2 players on assignment from the Pelicans with the Legends tonight, Kenrick Williams and Frank Jackson. I talked to Bob McKinnon, his Legends off the tip. Daryl Macon blocked by Eubanks. Now, we talked to Coach Mack, Donnie, about, the Pelicans can choose to send guys anywhere, but to send guys to the Legends, and teams are constantly doing that, the organization's got to take a lot of pride that other NBA organizations look upon the Legends so highly.
Yeah, it's really a trust thing, relationship. Their general manager is probably one of my closest friends in the league, Del Demps, who actually played for my dad and I out in Golden State. And, when you're part of those, player-coach relationships, they run deep, and it's an honor for us to, be able to help develop a couple of their kids, and obviously, it's not lost on us as well.
Williams hits the 3. Kenrick Williams from deep, and the Legends lead by 13.
Saw a lot of TCU games last year, and I thought that this young man Kendrick could be a nice utility player. Clearly he's wearing the right number out there, is he not? The old Luka Doncic 77.
You know what? That is becoming a very popular number in the Metroplex, just like 41 became quite popular about 21 years ago. I got to ask you about both those guys, Donnie. Last night, Dirk officially starts his season, 21 years, one organization, NBA record. I know he only played 6 minutes, only scored 2 points, but a special night for what that all meant with him setting that record.
Just a blessing to have the big German back in action. He dropped his first shot, which wasn't a shock to any of us. Look, he's knocking off the rust, and we're going to bring it back slowly, but he had some really nice first half minutes, got back into the flow, and so we'll build from that.
We'll talk about some of the tutelage he provides to a young guy like Luka Doncic, who is really finding himself in the league pretty well.
Yeah, Abe, it was really just, he was really excited last night. I mean, he has yet to play an NBA game with Dirk. And like you said, the leadership, the path that Dirk has paved, being one of the top Europeans, if not the top European to ever play the game, it's an honor for Luka to play with him.
Donnie, you've been good luck. The Legends are +7 with you on the mic. Blake Ahern calling a timeout. We'll say goodbye, and thanks for joining us,
My
sir.
pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Legends up 15 here in Frisco. Well, not much has gone wrong for the Legends in the first half. They are nearly doubling up the Austin Spurs, the division-leading Austin Spurs, 69-35 as the Legends try to break a 5-game losing streak alongside Badmus, Jared Sandler with you. And for a team that desperately needs a win, the Legends pretty much did everything they needed to do in the first 24 minutes.
They're following the formula, that's for sure. Turning them over, 18 turnovers from the Spurs. They usually average 19. So they're only one away from their season average. That's 11 steals, hitting 10 threes in the first half. This is how you win a game, play inspired basketball after 4 straight road losses. Tough coming for the Spurs here.
And Daryl Macon has led the way for the Legends. His first half production would be a good game for a lot of guys, including Daryl. 19 points, 9 assists. There's nothing wrong with that. 4 of 5 from deep. It's just one half. Abe, this guy has been outstanding for the Legends, and he is really going to put the team on his back here in the first half.
Put the team on his back, and he's making a lot of guys look silly. Getting guys off their feet, getting them in on the step back. My favorite one here coming off the ball screen, pulling up right in somebody's face. That's Nick Johnson there. And then this one here with the snatch back and the step back for the 3. And none of those shots even hit the rim. I mean, this guy is just feeling it tonight.
Macon 4 threes. Rashad Vaughn with 4 threes. The Legends as a team shooting better than 50%. And it's not a random coincidence. They're creating really good shots, and Daryl Macon is obviously a big part of that.
He's definitely the catalyst. He's finding guys on the break. It really, in my opinion, it started on the defensive end. When you get guys the ball early on the break and you're keeping the defense on their toes, Daryl Macon has done that tonight. He's being rewarded because guys are making shots for him, but then he's also getting shots for himself. And you see this is a beatdown, to say the least.
Now this is a very offensive league. Still 24 minutes left, the second half, when we come back here in Frisco. Season, the Spurs with the loss fall to 9-7. And Daryl Macon with an outstanding game. Probably the best player on the floor tonight. 26 points, 13 assists, 7 rebounds.
Hands down the best player on the floor. Nearly got a triple-double. Were it not for that mishap in that third quarter, probably would have been able to get that with more playing time. But he was the catalyst for the team tonight. Usually it's been Frank Jackson these last few games, but Daryl Macon has established himself today as the guy, the feature player for the Legends.
Well, the Legends again with the win, 137-110. We hope to hear from Daryl Macon. They end up shooting 57%, and that is a product of good shooting, but so much more than just that.
Absolutely. It all started on the defensive end. The Spurs helped them out a little bit. I mean, they telegraphed a lot of passes, but when you get steals and you get on the break, get easy buckets, it just makes things so much easier. When guys see the ball go through the basket, everyone else builds that same confidence, and the wealth was just spread around all over the place today.
For the Spurs, 30 turnovers. It's awfully tough to win a game when you commit 30 turnovers. 12 of them coming in the first quarter, allowing the Legends to set a defensive tone. I know the Spurs ended up scoring 110, but at halftime they had just 35 points. The Legends really deserve credit for defensively setting the tone.
They definitely set the tone defensively. They got in passing lanes. They were very, very physical. Can't give all the credit to the Spurs, you're right, but what you really credit them for is sustaining that through 3 solid quarters, and that was really the difference today, the consistency on the defensive end.
Frank Jackson, 20 points. This could be his last game. Every game could be his last game with the Legends. What'd you like from him tonight?
Well, he was kind of quiet tonight, relatively to Daryl Macon, but he just had another solid night. Played to his strengths, and really, we're going to miss him dearly if he does make his way back to the NBA.
Jackson, one of 3 Legends with 20 plus. Of course, Daryl Macon led the way with 26. Right now, he joins Caitlin Cramer.
Thanks, Jared. Daryl.